along with that, we help them understand the processes and help them work through their certifications, different certifications.
Interesting. And so how is the American Indian community experiencing entrepreneurship right today? I've heard data that says it's one of the fastest growing communities as far as entrepreneurship goes. Is that true, or are you seeing problems now recently?
Well, you know, I'm not sure that we're the fastest growing community. We're making headway. You know, we have a long ways to go to catch up in terms of leveling the playing field. You know, for so many hundreds of years, you know, our communities were kept on reservations, and that's the politically correct word. And for the most part, our communities off reservation were, you know, the poorest of the poor. So although we're moving along at a good speed, in growing, there's a lot of work to do yet.
So what is that work that still needs to be done?
Well, one of the things that the American Indian Economic Development Fund / Turtle Island PUTAC, I mean, we look at creating economic well-being on Turtle Island. We know the Northern Hemisphere as Turtle Island. It goes back to our creation story. However, you know, we still are working towards becoming self-sufficient. You know, right now we're on reservation land, and on the majority of reservations, you know, we're dependent upon government and our tribal government in terms of jobs. In our communities, you know, we're still dependent upon others for assistance. And but we have the wherewithal and the makeup within our communities and our individuals and tribal businesses to grow, to become self-sufficient.
And how is the gaming industry changing, or how has it changed the environment?
Well, it's provided good economic development for most tribes. It hasn't done what a lot of people think. It's made all natives rich, and we all, you know, get casino checks. Less than, I think, maybe 20% of the tribes throughout the country are that successful where their enrolled membership receive any significant amount of funds. Most casino projects for tribes are jobs programs, in that they keep a lot of people working that wouldn't be working, both non-natives and natives alike. So those are positive things. But the spin-off from that is that, you know, when folks have work and they're creating income, they're able to spend it on, you know, things that they normally wouldn't have if they were unemployed. So this has allowed some other opportunity for economic growth in terms of small business development in our native communities.
And markets for your own clients to tap into.
Oh, most definitely, yeah.
Great. And so let's talk a little bit about the economic development in the Twin Cities, specifically. The larger community in the Twin Cities, the larger American Indian communities in Minneapolis. How does the community here in St. Paul differ, or?
Well, you know, I was born in Minneapolis, in sort of the hood as we know it, and so
Where is that?
That's Franklin, Bloomington area, and today we still have a significant population down there, and many native businesses, and so it's the difference between Minneapolis and St. Paul community is that we're more dispersed in the St. Paul area. We're not as you know, centralized in terms of our businesses, and nor in our terms of our you know, household community. And so St. Paul has a number of small American Indian-owned businesses, and but again, it's not you know, we have a lot of businesses that just you wouldn't know are American Indian-owned just because of the names. I mean, we have in the Twin City area, a group called Visions Inc. It's a printing company, marketing company. It's one of the largest printing companies in the country, native printing companies in the country, and these folks do absolutely marvelous work. John Otto is enrolled member of the White Earth Band of Ojibwe, and at our site over in the Como area in St. Paul, we have a little business incubator downstairs where the Minnesota, American Indian Chamber of Commerce is located. We have 2 other small businesses down there, Native Builders and Three Rivers Installation, construction contractors office also, and Four Nations Painting and Decorating.
Okay, so the St. Paul community is more dispersed, and how does that make growing business challenging?
Well, I'm not sure if it affects it one way or the other in terms of being more dispersed. It's just it's a challenge in St. Paul as it is a challenge in Minneapolis.
If you're just joining us, welcome to the St. Paul Forum. I'm Lisa Tabor, your guest host, along with John Forty, while Mike Wassenaar is on sabbatical. I'm here talking with David Glass, Executive Director of the American Indian Economic Development Fund and owner of Black Bear Crossings on the Lake. Thank you again for joining us. We were talking about how businesses, especially American Indian businesses in St. Paul, are pretty dispersed throughout the city. And you just shared with us that it may not make that big a difference in their success one way or the other. However, I will ask if I guess I would frame it this way. We've been talking, the American African American community, the American Indian community, the Latino community, the Asian American community, about developing ethnic cultural corridors. And
that's where it becomes difficult for us here in St. Paul.
So I'd like to talk to you a little bit more about that. What is your feeling about a commercial corridor that is sort of built, I guess, in an ethnic enclave?
You know, I'm one person in our community, so it's strictly, I'm not able to speak for, the whole St. Paul Indian community. I support the cultural corridor concept, and we're struggling to sort of say, in our discussions I think we met about a month and a half ago with a group of folks, and so the discussion we're having in our community is how we locate and describe that corridor for us. We have some businesses over in the Como area, including my business and the Chamber, and a few other American Indian-owned businesses. We have our American Indian Magnet School over on the east side on 3rd Street in Earl, and the American Indian Family Center has got a presence on the Lower Payne Avenue area. And then we have our, community base over on the west side of town. So we are dispersed, and that's the discussion that we're having right now. How do we describe that corridor for us?
Do you think it's important that American Indian businesses are known as such?